Y'all should know me by now. I do a lot of things just off the hip. I get a nudge from the universe and I respond. That's just the way I work. So I worked this prosperity, well, rework it, and came up with this one. And then this morning, my cards was talking to me, my Ascended Master Oracle card. So I decided to ask for higher guidance per each chakra, and kind of how they relate to your human body, to try and figure out what kind of guidance we can get towards higher manifesting through a prosperity grid. Being that we are into the highest vibrational month, which is the 9 September. So I'm going to start from down here at the bottom, which is your Earth star. And your Earth star is kind of like what holds you down into this level of existence. It's kind of like your dimensional ground. So, from the aspect of what you need to be doing now that you realize you are here in this 3D realm, is you need to practice persistence. And Luge is a form of a sun god. And, basically, persistence is what it is. I'm not going to draw this out, so I'm going to go through it and what is exactly what it is. Persistence. If you know you here, don't give up. Be persistent in what you are wishing and willing and trying to manifest. If you're going to work a prosperity grid, or if you're going to speak towards prosperity in general, be persistent with it. You cannot just say it and then fall apart when things don't go your way and think you got to go start from scratch. Stay strong in what you are working towards and stay persistent. Moving over here to the root. The root is your fight or flight center. It's kind of like, okay, I'm walking around here and I need to ground and secure and all that good stuff. Basically, what the root is saying to stay focused. Kathumi is pretty good figure, but we're gonna focus more on the root word than the figures. Um, so it's saying, as far as your root, stay focused. And that's again tied back into where it's saying it's telling you to be persistent, but it's also telling you you have to maintain focus. You cannot get out here and just not have any form of a plan on how you're going to manifest these things that you're wanting. So moving on along, going into the sacral, which is your emotional center, that's going to be the bigger component towards manifesting. Although there is some hints towards, we're all grown here. Hopefully, everybody on here is grown. What this hinting towards is actually sex magic. To be honest with you, a lot of us who have practiced or do practice sex magic understand that the orgasmic point is one of, if not the highest point of manifestation in the human existence. When you get to that point of an orgasm and you speak your will, it has a higher tendency to manifest versus just speaking it from a lower level or standard level perspective. So what it's saying is, Kuan Yin, she is, she's a pretty good prosperity figure, and it's saying to let it go. And it's in reverse, as in you really have to let it out. You have to let it go. Speak it and let it go. Because if you try and speak it and hold on to it and try and second guess it, you are coming back over here. And if you're second guessing your work, you're showing that you have lost focus in a hit in the persistence arena. So again, moving on, trying to keep it short and sweet, going over to the solar plexus, which is really going to be key. The solar plexus is your vitality and your willpower. If you're going to get anything manifested, it's one of the keys. I take that back. One of the primary keys is going to be your willpower. And it's the thought card in reverse, which is write, and it's write it all down. You have to be able to visualize it. A lot of us don't have that level of visualization technique to where we can just speak it and see it in our mind and therefore produce it. The human body just, kind of has too many internal traps within it. The human mind does. So write it down. And what's that? One of the Erica Badu saying something about write it down and watch it manifest or whatever it is. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But write it down and own it, visualize it, and then produce it. And I see my videos looking kind of choppy, so I apologize to those of you who are walking in the middle of a storm. But I'm going to continue on. Moving on, to me, the heart is the attachment center. If you're going to attach your energy towards this manifestation, trying to work in this prosperity, you need to be sure that you are your magic. The figure on the card is Saint Germain. If you know anything about Saint Germain, he's the keeper of the violet flame. The violet flame is a transmuting ray. So if you are dealing with a bunch of situations that have you out of abundance, transmute them into abundance. And that can happen by writing it down, letting it go, staying focused, and don't give up by being, again, it's flowing. And I love when it does that. Over here, you have the thymus, which is the heart where your love resides, conditional love. And as a being of unconditional love, you have to understand that you can't have attachments. You don't own anybody and nobody owns you. So you have to practice the spiritual law of attraction, which kind of alludes to the fact that in not owning everybody, you have to come to an understanding that you are everybody. Everybody else is a reflection of you. Everything that you're wanting, willing, and wishing is already a part of you. You just have to learn to attract it. Melchizedek is a high level wizard, lots of circles and all that stuff. Going up again, what I was saying, the most powerful manifesting tool we have as a human is our throat. Chakra is over here. It's called a power chakra for a reason. Manifest that will through your throat. So it's saying to nurture yourself, and it's a Mother Mary's on the card. But think about it: if she's the cosmic mother and mother, you have to nurture yourself. Speak what's good for you. If you don't speak ill of others, then you're nurturing yourself in the sense of you're doing things honestly, and you're putting yourself in a better position to practice the law of attraction, because you then be working your magic, and all you got to do is start writing it down, letting it go, stay focused, and be persistent. Getting over here, we only got just gonna keep this short and sweet. So now we're over here at the third eye, which is pretty much your your TV center. This is your reality. You're gonna speak it through your throat, but it's gonna right here in the third eye, and it's saying to go now. Serapis Bey, a precursor to the Jesus allegory. Go now. Take what you see in your mind and go with it. Go with what you have used, your discernment, which came from your perspectives, which came from your perception. So once you get that perception, then you just develop your perspectives, develop your discernment, make that into your reality, and go now with it. And be proud of yourself, and be proud of what you saw, and give yourself the nod. Deserve this. A lot of people work prosperity grids, but they have a poverty mindset. Oh, I want to be rich, but I don't want it all. Have the wisdom to be able to handle it all. And the card we have right here is the crown card. The card guidance comes in. It's where your higher energies from your ancestral contact, everything comes in through the crown. Plus, you wear the crown because you own your own divinity. So you need to see the other person's point of view. And when you're seeing the other person's point of view, it's kind of like you are in a point of acceptance that I'm not out here trying to be better than nobody else. Just like I'm not going to sit here and praise somebody else. To me, this ties into kind of like, I'm not going to go all into it, but we got to start honoring ourselves by viewing others. And when you can see a bit of yourself in everybody else, it helps you know who you are. So there's a lot of things that I can go into with the see the other person's point of view card. But at the end of the day, once you can look at life from the other person's point of view of how they see you, because sometimes others see us more than we see ourselves, then you can start working towards all these other things. When you can look at it and see, damn, that person there always supporting me. They must see that I'm worthy. So I see myself from their point of view. I see the good in me. So now that I got a good sense of myself, I'm going to go now because I'm learning to nurture myself. Now I'm learning to attract what's for me because I've now learned how to work my magic. So I'm going to start writing shit down. And if I want to practice sex magic, I'm going to let it go. But even if I don't want to play with sex magic, I'm still going to let it go and let it flow because I've learned to stay focused, and that will give me persistence, and that will get you prosperity. Peace and wholeness.